Hey everybody, welcome to Real Life Sci-Fi with Wade and Willie. I'm Wade.
I'm Willie.
This is a podcast about the paranormal and contemporary mythology. Join us on patreon.com/reallifesci-fi for access to 2 bonus episodes a week, video feeds, and more. Visit reallifesci-fi.show for a bunch of links and stuff. And let's welcome aboard the SSRLSF celebrated filmmaker Ford Austin. Hi, Ford.
Hey, what are you guys doing? What's going on? What's been happening here? Do you like this Zoom effect?
Yeah.
Like
when was the last time you were on? It was
hold on a second.
year ago.
First, I gotta say I'm very, very thrilled to be on the show. I am such a fan of this series. And how many episodes have you guys done so far?
Oh gosh, this is episode 542.
Yeah, so like years. You guys are years into this.
I feel like the last time we celebrated an episode was 100.
That was not me.
That sounds right.
I was on one of your earlier episodes when I was back in LA, and I think we talked about the interdimensional Bigfoot, and I'm sorry to bring it up so early in the show because it kind of has become something that we always discuss at some point.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, you got a set structure here. I don't know how, I don't even remember how you do it. So I was watching this thing on TV where they started talking about this 4-person crew that's getting ready to do a moonshot to go around the dark side of the moon and then loop back. They're basically going to do an orbit.
Yeah,
they're
the
doing
Artemis.
an orbit. Yeah, the Artemis. And I don't know if you guys are familiar, but the Artemis project is a generations long thing that is basically the housing project on the moon. This whole thing is going to be the rest of our lives, where the NASA organization in full swing, reinstated in full swing by Donald Trump, is going to build housing, data centers, and everything up on the moon. And we actually are about to see what the whole dark side of the moon is. The moon. Yeah, I wanted to talk about.
I thought you wanted to talk about Bigfoot.
Well, it's an interdimensional Bigfoot. So my question to you is,
okay, yeah.
Do you think that Bigfoot will have the ability to go into that moon area? Do you think Bigfoot will set his Bigfoot on the moon one day?
This is after we've built some sort of atmosphere. I need to know.
Well, you're making an assumption that Bigfoot needs oxygen.
I know, and my assumption is that he does. I think that he does. I don't know why he would be so in nature if he didn't love oxygen.
Yeah, and hydration, water. Yeah, because
maybe
water allegedly. Is only. Yeah, I mean, it's in nature.
We've never seen a Bigfoot underwater.
No, we have not.
But we've also never seen them eat or drink. You know, it's like just walking by. It's like,
but that doesn't matter on the moon, right? The water, the food thing doesn't matter on the moon.
It's only available on the North and South Pole of the moon, evidently.
Picture us being interdimensional. You're not going to eat on other planets. You're going to eat at home.
Well, if it's sliders,
yeah, that's right. Or you're gonna bring some snacks on your interdimensional journey.
But these sound like alien planets now. I guess, okay, well, this is the concept of interdimensionality now. Like, if Bigfoot can go anywhere, he's probably been on the moon already.
But it's a major issue. It's a major issue of interdimensional travel. If you are regularly doing this and you're a Bigfoot, you have problems because he didn't always know the moon had no air or water.
He discovered
it.
Go. You know,
someone discovered it. One of the Bigfoots. Yes. I mean, we're thinking it's a society of Bigfoots, right? Or do you think it's just one guy?
A guy that he cracked the whole system, and
he's the Albert Einstein of his.
Yeah, what was that movie about the dude who was eating mice? He was living in the Arctic by himself from the 80s.
Don't know.
Was he doing it just to survive, or was this sort of like a supernatural thing?
He was a scientist and he ran out of food. So he started eating mice. There were so many mice.
Why were the mice there? How did the mice get there? He was like in a lab where he was discovering, he was experimenting.
I think he was experimenting with the rats.
So he ended up having to eat his specimens.
I don't know that movie. Was it big?
It was comparable to like Jeremiah Johnson. Came out about the same time. It's just like
yeah, I don't know Jeremiah.
There's
Johnson
an iconic one.
That's Robert Redford. Just saying.
Yeah,
like,
Robert Redford. Yeah.
Oh, is that the one that the GIF is from? Where he's
exactly. Yeah, where he goes like, yes. With the fucking
just
beard.
now just on your head. I'm going to zoom in on you.
Yeah. Hey, fuck. It still provides joy years later. That director knew what he was doing.
Well, I don't know about that guy who ate all the mice on the moon base, but
yeah.
If you're doing interdimensional travel, no matter what the hell you are going to need some problem solving skills because you're going places that you never anticipated.
Do you think you can do like a bloop in, bloop out, like bloop? Oh, I can't breathe.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here. Absolutely. Yes.
Well, that's a great story for a Bigfoot story where he could do that, and then it broke on Earth, so he's just stuck here.
But I like that the whole trans-dimensional thing is why we haven't found him.
Yeah.
It's all tied to that watch.
Wait, hang on.
Well, it's that one photograph that they caught of him where he was walking and he had like his hand out. He had a watch on.
Right. Okay. It's coming back to me a little bit.
It's the first most Googleable image. It's the first result. I swear.
Well, for me to see it after Googling it, I would first have to Google that. I don't. Why would I ever?
Yeah. Why would you Google? Don't you more of like a
why would I Google Bigfoot?
You're more of a DuckDuckGo type of guy anyway, aren't you?
Well, yeah, because of the privacy concerns.
Yes.
We all should be. Let's break into the WoW scale. WoW scale. The WoW scale is a 5-question quiz. It stands for Wade or Willie. At the end of the 5 questions, I'll give you a score anywhere between 0 and 5. If you're more of a 0, you're more of a Wade. If you're more of a 5, you're more of a Willie. Are you ready to be Wade on the WoW scale?
I am so ready.
First question, 3 parts. Do you believe in aliens? If so, have they visited Earth? If so, have they visited Earth in the last 300 years?
I do believe in aliens. I do believe they visited here. I do believe they've visited here in the last 5 years.
Willie, we could amend that to be like, will disclosure happen in our lifetime? Because I don't think it will.
I love that. I think that's very important because that's what we're talking about now.
That is good, man, because every year I think we're closer and it just doesn't happen. Yeah.
All right. We'll talk about it later. Question number 2, ghosts.
I've seen a ghost. I've taken a photograph of a ghost. Yes.
Question number 3, Bigfoot.
The same shit I said.
All right. We got.
I don't believe in Bigfoot. I don't believe in Bigfoot. I think it's a mythical, fictional creature that it's best in movies, and I think it's a great cinematic choice.
All right. Was 9/11 an inside job?
I don't have enough information for that. I've watched videos. I've watched a lot of stuff. I've heard a lot of people say shit, and I have a very conspiracy-heavy uncle that thinks it was an inside job, so why not? Why not? And also, when is Willie's question about when we're going to find that out? Like, kind of, do we have a Warren Commission type thing about that?
JFK files, right? We still don't even know JFK.
Yeah, do we have a Warren Commission thing about that?
Warren Commission. The Warren Commission will show you that it was all set up because of what they were allowed to look at, but I'll stop.
The multiverse. We're having fun with Bigfoot jumping through universes, but do you think the multiverse is real?
Absolutely. And I think it's simpler. I did a series with J.K. Simmons where we were part of this universe, and there was like a doorway to an alternate universe. It was on Showtime.
I watched that. What's it called?
And Counterpart. And it was like there was one of you in the other world, and it was just like 2 identical worlds, except one world didn't have cell phones. So I think that everything that we have multiverse-wise, I think you can create it with your mind. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm into that too. I think that's what the universes are. The parallel universes are just non-physical realities that
people are somehow able to manifest things.
All right. Well, you're a 4. Down. So
wait,
congratulations.
Who was who? I'm more
That's
like
Willie. You're like, you're
right, because you're agnostic. You're extremely agnostic about all this shit.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Because like if you see it, you'll believe it. But even then, you might
because
not
otherwise it doesn't affect me, so I don't give it any thought.
Right, like Melania Trump. How was the movie, by the way? It was good?
My theater was packed.
It was packed.
Oh, yeah.
Packed.
Everyone was cheering. All right, Willie, hit us with that topic.
Tonight on Real Life Sci-Fi, is someone on the moon? Has somebody been on the moon in the past? According to science, maybe. Tonight, we're looking at moon anomalies, strange lights, odd geometric features, and lunar observations that some researchers could argue could hint at artificial structures or even traces of something once present. Is it all geology and shadow, or could the moon still hold evidence of visitors' hidden activity, or a chapter of cosmic history we haven't fully understood yet? Tonight on Real Life Sci-Fi.
All right, what's the simplest way to do this? What's the kind of like give me the super zoomed out and then the very, very zoomed in.
So I just want to take this back real quick. The Space Act of 1958 basically laid down the law that said that if NASA ever finds anything, they are like a Department of Defense. They aren't allowed to tell anybody that they found any sort of evidence of anything. That still holds true today. And I feel like Carl Sagan may have gotten some of this information because he was always pushing to get to space and to push the imagination to include other entities being possible, but not like being like, hey, aliens are real. It's like, no, we need to find this. And he was saying that the Earth could have been visited by aliens, and if they did visit Earth, they'd probably visit the moon, because on the moon there's no weathering, there's no weather, there's no extreme conditions that you'd have to deal with. And on the moon, yeah, there's no weathering, there's no erosion. So if something did come even 1,000,000 years ago, that structure should probably still be there, because the only erosion that they have up there are meteors hitting the moon and also micrometeors. So structures are going to last a long time. And so this whole thing coming out now is, okay, NASA has put out this, out of all their scans of the moon, they've edited photos and there's proof of them like blurring out stuff of the new digital moon that you can look at, but maybe they didn't catch everything.
What's the new digital moon?
If you go to, I forget the website.
Is there just a new photo? If that's what the answer is,
it's not a photo. It's an interactive. You can zoom in on the moon. It's an interactive digital.
So it's like Google Earth, only with the moon.
Yes.
Okay.
So within that, if there's anything blurry, they can like fix that, because that's what the program does. You stitch things together. Did they catch everything? Did they delete everything? And also, are there maybe some whistleblowers trying to sneak images out to people for them to find?
Well, okay, but all right. So can we just agree that NASA is censoring things, or is that are we talking about that? Like, I'll buy that. I'll buy it. NASA censoring things. Cool.
They have to. Even the astronauts said that after they did the first moon landing, they said that they didn't want to say, like, if they saw something when they landed, because it was being internationally broadcast, they didn't want to go, oh my God, look at that. Who? Because then people would hear and they'd shut down and they would end the whole mission. So they specifically said, like, Buzz Aldrin was the most wacky of all the astronauts.
Yeah.
He appeared on talk shows and he said, we could never say. Sometimes he would go, well, but it never happened, did it? It never happened. He'd say, like, we never even went. And you're like, well, what are you saying? And so you're like, this is just some kind of weird old man. But he also made a very astute comment, which was they were not allowed to say if they saw something, because it would raise a lot of public alarm over anything that was too much for anybody to take back in 63?
69, I thought.
Okay, just perfectly wonderful.
Summer of love and oral sex
and rocket ships. So how many countries have actually gone to the moon?
I know that's the crazy thing right now, is that
there's
okay, but
there's four.
So what?
Hold on.
So there's aliens?
No, I didn't say that, but there's 4 countries in the entire country, or the entire world of all time, that have even gone to the moon. One of them just did it in 2023. And if you look at their footage, it looks like a cartoon. It literally looks like a cartoon. And they're putting this out like this is their video of them going to the moon.
You're talking to India? Is that?
Yes. It literally looks like a cartoon. And
you think it's a cartoon?
I don't know what the deal is, but they were celebrating. It was great. Now, there's only one country that's ever had humans set foot on the moon. No one else. Everything else is a rover or something that went there and landed and then took off. That's only in the United States has gone there. So we control the narrative, is what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
We control the entire narrative. And you would think China is so advanced. I mean, look at all of these amazing trains and planes and everything that China has.
Did you see their latest suggestion that they're trying to do? They're trying to build a structure around the moon that will provide power to the Earth.
A data center type thing, or like solar power.
It looks like Saturn's rings, but just a lot of metal.
Yeah, we will be dead before
Solar
that
panels.
happens. They will
Yeah,
start that,
pretty...
and it'll be like the Death Star being constructed. We will see it start, and then we will die before it ever gets finished.
Yeah.
That seems like a 100-year project to me.
Yeah, they are mining all that helium-3 though, so
That's right.
It's going to be cheap for them to get there.
They're mining helium-3. Do you know what helium-3 is, Wade? I don't.
No.
It basically is the fuel. It's like nuclear fuel.
Yeah.
So at any rate, NASA is like a Department of Defense.
Yes, they're part of the Department of Defense. Now, here you were talking something earlier about like the surface of the moon, and I watched one of these things that you sent that said that in order to harvest water from the moon, it's like 1 micron of water exists in every 500 tons, or in like a certain amount, and you would have to harvest 500 tons of moon soil to get a liter of water. To get one of these, you'd have to go get 500 tons of dump trucks, Well, who cares about that? I think I'm more interested in asking you guys, Wade, do you think there are aliens? Do you think there are aliens on the moon?
I'm watching the Indian moon landing and then reading the comments and yeah.
Yeah, stick with that.
I don't know.
You're an agnostic. What do you think about what you're seeing there?
It's indescribable. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I don't know what. There's too many things. Like how did they get that shot, and what's with the lighting? I would need to know more before
it's perfectly lit. Everything is perfectly lit.
Right.
So here's one thing. I'm not a conspiracy theorist about this, but I've thought about this a lot based on being a celebrated filmmaker and having to go out and make an independent film with equipment in my own car. Let's equate the moon landing to what it was. It was an independent film. They went up there with cameras. They had a car. They took a fucking car. At one point, there's footage of them. At one point, there's footage of them in 2 different cars racing each other on the surface of the moon. And camera footage is difficult to get in like a normal circumstance, right? Camera footage with film reels,
focus and depth.
Yeah. Well, let's say it's all on autofocus. Let's say it's perfectly focused, and you're just shooting on film.
Okay.
And you've got all these little high 8, Super 8 cameras, which you see in their hands in some of the shots.
Right. Beginning of Wonder Years.
Are these people? Yeah. Just trying to.
I'm trying to figure out a good way to explain the film of that time. They had little handheld 8mm, right?
Yeah.
I think they had. They might have had a 16mm camera with them too. And they had this.
Tell me, how is the light on an 8mm? Do you have to really light an 8mm?
And they also had amazing lenses. They supposedly had these amazing lenses that were so good that Shane Hulbert, the cinematographer, who is very celebrated himself now, he has that set of lenses and he got them from Stanley Kubrick. Okay, so I'm an astronaut. I'm going into space. They go, hey, by the way, we need you to take this film camera. Have you ever used a film camera? You'll be fine. You've got your astronaut ice cream. You got the car. You've got the film camera. You've got the little, you got your light meter, and you've got all that, and you're ready to go. You guys are going to go. You're going to be great. It's going to be awesome. How in the world did they pull it off? And have you ever looked at the size of the capsule that they were in? Have you looked at the size of all of the ship stuff that they were in and then the one that they came home in? I was just looking at it. It doesn't really seem to match up.
Well, the sad part is you're going to have to take a shit in front of two other guys.
Yeah, where's that going? Well, you're doing it in your suit, right?
Wait, what? How long are you in the thing for?
Yeah, how
Like a
long were
week,
they in it?
right?
Yeah,
A
and
week
now
a week in the little tiny thing? The
Well, okay,
lander?
like them getting to the moon, they had to unload off all their shit on the moon, right? So like there's a chance.
It would be easy for me to not shit. I mean, I've camped.
I would say
it's the ultimate
just
camping
off the
trip.
top of my head, they were gone a week.
Well, they say
Well,
that
let me
there.
just say this. Let me just say this in a completely neutral way. You're going to the moon. You don't think they had a week with a media guy going like, okay, so here's how you work the camera and like it's not good in low light, so you're definitely gonna want to like fucking do this. You don't think
Great. Let's say
they're
they
going
did.
to the moon?
Let's say they did.
Okay.
Let's say they did. Then they're on the moon. They have said in interviews that they landed the spacecraft. Just imagine yourself as an astronaut. You land the spacecraft. You don't know what's there. You are on the moon. At some point, you're going to have to open the door. And the whole plan that the guys coming through the radio are saying is you guys are going to step out onto the moon. There was like 3 or 4 hours. They were just in the spacecraft waiting to see what was going to happen, if anything was going to happen or what was happening, if they were okay, if the ship was compromised or anything. Epic silence, just unbelievable tension. And then you get all your stuff together, you go out of the space capsule and you get onto the surface of the moon. You can see that footage today, and you can see several different versions of that footage. You can see several different versions, several different qualities. Some of it's really blurry.
You know what they
Shot from-
broadcast? They broadcast a film. They would project it onto a wall, and the news channel shot the projection. So that's why it's so dark. So they could control.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's
What you
a
could
great
see.
explanation.
I mean, here's my thing. I know we're going down this path of the footage was faked. I lie in the middle where it's like, I think they went there. I think they faked a lot of the footage in case they died on the moon. But I really think that in the realm of Department of Defense, they went to a specific spot because they knew they would find stuff there and they didn't want people to see the stuff that they were there for, to find these artifacts or whatever.
There's another thing that I listened to, which was, and I don't even know if it's real or whatever it is, but they said that like there's like a recording somewhere where they say they're watching us.
Yeah.
They're just watching us. And they don't specify who they is or what it is. They're just like, they're watching us.
Well, okay, but if they're landing in this place where they don't want anyone to see, then why did they put cameras everywhere?
And plant a flag.
To me, the cameras was the flagship to get money from everyone. So it's like you've got this campaign of like, this is what we're doing here, but they were doing other shit.
Mm-hmm.
So they landed in a way where they knew it wouldn't shoot any of that stuff on its own.
Yeah.
This was all in the Sea of Tranquility. That was the first location of the first moon base, the Sea of Tranquility. Now they're going to go for this other one. I think they're going to go closer towards the South Pole of the moon because there's a water source there, like 8 miles away from where they're planning on landing, which is where that Indian rover landed.
I feel like they're definitely like hitting spots on purpose. And so this latest stuff that came out is blowing my mind. The Paracelsus C crater. In this crater, if you look on the Google Moon, whatever, maybe it's the Google Moon, maybe there's a NASA version of it. I don't know. I'll post a link in the comments, in this show. But they found this structure, and the structure is 30 meters tall and 130 meters wide. So what they're saying is structures should not be able to form because there's no tectonic activity, there's no erosion. So I'm going to pull up this picture of this.
Well, they actually say there has been some tectonic activity there and that there could be dormant volcanic tubes underneath.
Some people think that these tubes might be old underground structures that creatures were surviving in because, I think that them saying that these are old volcanic tubes are them just going like, well, there must have been because nothing is up there making tunnels. So it's got to be volcanic tubes. But some of these tubes are made with stuff that is not natural.
naturally occurring on the moon. Like
yeah. Or I got to look it up, but it's kind of like how this 3i Atlas, they're like, it's got iron, but it doesn't have nickel in it.
Is it okay if we switch to the 3i Atlas? I like where you're going, Wade. What are you going to say?
Oh, I wasn't going to talk about 3i Atlas. I was kind of gauge where on the conspiracy theory spectrum does this lie? Like, because we've talked previously about the moon being hollow, it being a spaceship that was moved here.
Yeah.
But now we're talking about tunnels that are man-made or whatever.
Entity made, yeah, intelligence.
So where are we at here? Are these conflicting with one another, or is this a new different thing, or is it all?
It is a little conflicting, but just saying that there's something mining stuff on the moon. I want to show you this picture of this crater up close, because NASA is showing low res photos, and there are some high res photos that they claim that they aren't using, but they've taken high res photos. They're not sharing them with us, right? Because Department of Defense.
Who gets money to broadcast these stories?
This crater right here, when they zoom in on it, I mean, this looks like a classic mining crater.
Yeah, like a lithium crater or something. Like they carved that out.
Yeah, totally. So this is like a scan that they took of it. You know, when they do these digital photos, they take long scans and then they stitch them together.
Have they talked about having any geologists look at this stuff?
So here's the thing: is like, so this is on the dark side of the moon, and this thing has got this extra bright spot right here. And they're like, oh, it's got extra reflective material on it. Must have glass or some sort. When they test it with heat sensors, this thing is hotter than the surrounding area.
Is it magnesium?
I don't know, but they're also claiming that this area that's hotter is about 100 million years old. Well, these two craters around it are about 3 billion years old. So they're calling this this Deforest crater.
I think the most exciting thing about all this is that you have all of these billionaires and leaders of our world who are in power and control of everything that happens to us, that are finally going, hey, we're going to go and do this on the moon. We're going to do this. And we're going to put all our billions of stinking dollars towards moon exploration and construction. I think it's fabulously, it gets curious. It'll be something to keep us entertained until we die sometime in our 90s.
Yeah. I'm sorry, that hot area was called the Compton Belkavitch heat anomaly. It's because it's between the two craters, the Compton and the Belkavitch. So we're getting into this is the Paracelsus C crater. So when we zoom in on this thing is just within a crater.
It looks like it's got right angles on it.
This tall structure. It looks like it could be.
Is that the 30-meter one?
A building, a wall. This one's 30 meters tall and about 130 meters wide. And then there's also this other structure here too also. So there's a zoomed in photo of this too. Here we are a little closer. And then they're using AI now to enhance it. That's the word.
You think it's like an alien office building?
They are taking these photos and enhancing them. And so it's cool that they are looking for structures based on the pictures that NASA took. That, yes, sure, they're blurring some things, but they're not getting everything. There should not be.
It's like everything else. They have all the. They have everything. It's like the Epstein files all over again. They've got all the information. We don't get it.
A lot of these are the lunar reconnaissance orbiter images. What they're saying is a lot of the pictures that they're showing us, they're not even close enough to show even close to what these structures could be. So if you were that same distance from something on Earth, you might not even be able to tell that it's a city because you're so high up that you don't recognize it as civilization or organization or. So I just love what's happening right now. It's kind of like they're using science to be like, this is really anomalous. And we know that NASA's not allowed to show us anything. They're not allowed to. It would be against their interest.
It's in the SAFE Act. They can't do it.
Yeah.
They can't. From 1958, they can't.
So what? Well, what is the...
I'll tell you what's going to happen, Wade, is they're going to say... The whole thing is like, if something weird happens, we probably won't hear about it. They'll just cover it up and we won't hear about it. We'll just go on with our lives, paying taxes and stuff. And then if something great happens, They'll be like, "Hey, we did this. Look at what we did," and that's how it'll go.
Yeah, but
It's kind
neither
of
of it's
like
gonna. It's even if they do something, it's for the billionaires. So what do I care? I
it's not
like.
going to affect us.
Yeah, I'm just. I just. I've seen. We always look at structures on the moon and stuff. I don't know. I just need more as a base to a theory than like that could be a structure.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Well,
And so here's the thing is a lot of these structures are in the middle of craters. And so if in the same way when we are mining stuff, like what do you do with all that the rock that you're mining? You've got to like either pulverize it or sift through it or get what you want out of it. I'm only bringing this up because a lot of these structures are in the middle of these craters. And so I could fall into the idea that if there was some mining operation, or out of all the pictures that we've seen, we're not close enough and they're not going to release anything to us. So like it's kind of like just sleuthing for look at this and trying to compare different countries' photos of the moon and yeah, could they all be in on it trying to hide it? America coming in being like, well, you can't disclose this stuff because it'll ruin what we set up.
What would they be mining? What's on the or is that another thing that they would keep
Well,
hidden from us?
so of course there's helium-3. I think helium-3 is the one resource and that comes from just being blasted by radiation and the sun. So like the moon is just collecting this stuff, and it is basically like, yeah, nuclear jet fuel. It's like
it's
really,
a radioactive rock, is what you're saying.
yeah.
Is that rare?
Well, helium-3 is completely rare, and so like
But this
America
is for
immediately.
like, what do you use it for? Spaceships or like
Yeah.
jets? So spaceships. So it's like,
Well, here's
so
how
they're going to use
valuable.
it to go further than the moon.
Yeah, here's how valuable it is. For the past 10 years, Elon Musk has been saying he's going to go to Mars,
Right.
and he had that one girl chosen to go to Mars, and that was like a death trip, basically. And this week he said, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm canceling my Mars trip and I'm going to make it a moon development trip where I'm going to develop a habitable situation on the moon. So, whatever happened on the moon, something's valuable there. And he sees it, like you just said, it's going to be something to go further. And it's
So
going to be the base that, like, we use all this fuel to get off. Like, have you seen that? Somebody just trying to take a rocket off this planet is so hard, right? It's so
Right.
much fuel. Like everybody's getting Greta Thunberg must be just devastated whenever we fire a rocket off this planet because it's just so much and it's so much energy. But if you're out on the moon, it's like barely any energy. It's just
So
a
here's
little
what here's what
like
Wikipedia is saying. Nuclear fusion using helium-3 has long been viewed as a desirable future energy source. The fusion of its two atoms would be aneutronic, that is, it would not release the dangerous radiation of traditional fusion or require the much higher temperatures thereof. The process may unavoidably create other reactions that themselves would cause the surrounding material to become radioactive. But basically, it's like, yeah, and there's more of it on the moon than Earth, and a lot of it is in the upper layer of the regolith. So just mining the surface, you're going to get all that helium-3.
it's
Just
just like an untapped source of energy.
It's just sort of like, okay, I mean, I'm out of this game. There's no shot for me winning this game.
There's no shot for you. No.
So go ahead
You
and fucking destroy the moon too, and then go
what if you
destroy Mars. I
what
don't
if you
care.
bought some moon plots? Do you have rights to the helium
minerals,
three
yeah, can
on
you
your
buy the
moon plot?
minerals on the moon? No, it's a good thing. Like I spent a
No,
lot of
no,
my
like
time
listen,
buying
if it's
minerals
Wild
here.
West, sure, but they're not going to let anybody just buy a piece of the moon that they
No, but
haven't already like.
all these companies that have sold all these
I
plots of
think
land.
that they did that for a while. They
Yeah,
did that on in the early days of the internet. People would be like, "Hey, name a star after yourself," or
yeah.
"You can buy a little land on the moon," and they would sell you a plot on the moon. It's
Right.
somewhere on your computer. You could search it real quick. Buy
Yeah.
a piece
No,
of the
I
moon.
know, but that's
But
not
now
going to hold
China's
up.
got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
China's got it now.
that's not real anyway. Somebody just said like, "Hey, we can bilk morons. Let's it's a fun birthday gift. Name a fucking star after you." Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past these fuckers. to just be like, we got to get to this moon shit so that we can get to this Mars shit so that then we can just
Yeah.
go. Like, go ahead, fucking go ahead, please. I don't just go do whatever. It's so hard for me to care about space.
But what if you could look at some picture of the moon like this crater, the Deforest crater, it's 55 miles across. There's this wishbone structure on it that's like 2/3 maybe a half the size of the Eiffel Tower. And like those structures shouldn't be formed on the moon.
You say there's no weather on the moon, right?
Yeah,
It doesn't seem like anything would be formed unless something hit it.
exactly. And so we're not seeing craters create structures or meteors hitting the moon create structures. I know that there's things that could have happened in the past or, whatever. Some people think that the moon did have tectonic activity billions of years ago, whatever. And if it did create something back then, yes, it would survive, but there definitely, I think, would be more of those structures. There would be more mountains if that was a normal thing. And that's kind of what Carl Sagan was pointing out. I'm going to read his quote. I can't really decipher it. They want to look for artifacts outside of the thermodynamic equilibrium. And I think what that's saying is basically like, well, based on the processes of the moon, if this were normal, we would find more of these things. And so when you find a giant mountain on the moon, it's like, well, this kind of doesn't belong here. And so what created it? And we haven't seen giant mountains on the moon, but when you see these structures that are huge, there's this one, maybe I should share my screen again, where there's like four mountains all next to each other. And
yeah, it's like going back to what you said earlier, where if you're looking at something, you really can't tell how tall it is because you're not down there seeing it in person. How do they tell all this stuff? How does someone have a camera and shoot down at the moon and be able to discern how tall that structure that you're showing on our screen right now is when they're like, oh, this is like 700 meters tall?
yeah,
Like,
and the
how
defense
are they able to tell
is
it?
what they always say the defense is like, oh well, this happened at low sun, so the shadow is extra long because it's like, golden hour. So it's kind of like you have to have something to reference it by. But ultimately they keep taking the same pictures. So they do have references of it during different
They do
lighting.
say that the Indian satellite just mapped the entire moon, mapped the entire mineralogy of the moon. It went around and it determined that both of the poles had water and the rest of the moon did not. And I don't know if it mined all the geography, but I guess you're right. I guess they do it based on shadow length and stuff like that. I'm with Wade. I'm like, I'd like to be able to pay my rent and be happy and like have a
It's
cat.
not, yeah, and I'm not trying to be like, fucking
Negative, dude.
whatever, but
Yeah.
like, but I am just like, unless there's, I just need more like fun theories.
I know that my version, you kind of have to ride this line of like you have to go like, well, they created this law, so they can't show us anything. So if we can find anything, it's actually more than something, because these structures that they're finding now are the most credible things I've ever seen of like, oh shit, there could be like this crater that looks like it was mined. This crater was not created in this fashion from something hitting it.
You know what I feel is the most exciting part of all of it is that in the beginning of all of it, it was complete and utter bullshit that they put forth just to win some kind of arms race against
Yeah.
Russia. Like there's video that you can find where they have like a totally fake planet and like astronauts hanging from strings on a black soundstage with like
Yep, I've seen that. The
the air
rehearsals and
tube
the
and it's like they're just like hanging and the tube of air is like going like just like this. Everything's affected by gravity. It's like totally fake and they're like this is the moon and it's like they were trying to just like fake it till they make it with this moon stuff.
yeah, the
And then you
3D model of the moon that's about 20 feet tall that they zoom in on with a camera that's spinning around. And that's a crazy. I'm like, oh, sure, I could
yeah
see somebody making this, but like
and like all of the
it
stuff
matches the
you know.
footage.
And we've seen NASA's official photograph of the Earth change like 20 times. Like we've seen it change 20 times where they're like, hey, this is the Earth, guys. Here's this year's photo of the Earth. And you're like, well, the continents are in a completely different place and they're different sizes compared to like 4 years ago. What happened to the Earth? We were doing the same thing. It was like Pretty Woman came out then It's a fucking, well, now it's like Jay Kelly and the Earth's completely different. So I don't know about that, but dude, it's like everything is just like, it's like NASA is faking it until they make it. And now I'm so excited because they're talking about real science and mathematics and trying to go around the moon. Obviously, I'm very bitter about it. And I showed you that Indian footage. And I'm like, this doesn't look like. I remember the first time I saw that in 2023, and they were like, we went to the moon. That
I
thing
kept
looked
going
like
like, are you guys playing something so that there's a representation of it because you don't have video of it? Or are you trying to say that this is your video of it?
yeah, exactly. Like, is this what is going on? Like, I've seen real things in my life before, and
So
this
you
doesn't
don't
look.
believe that we've been there?
I kind of hedge towards that. I hedge towards that they faked that so that they could get more money and keep on going, and other people would be like, "Oh, well, they've already got it covered. Well, what are we gonna do? And are we gonna make our own fake videos?" And I don't know. I don't know. All I know is everything changes. Like there is an annual photograph of the Earth that has changed over the years.
I know that's
It's
always interesting when you look at the size of the continents, and it's like, I personally think that they've just continued this map thing where it's just like they don't want people to know how small the countries that rule the world are actually how small they are.
yeah, like
Um,
when they talk about the size of Greenland being like more than the size of the United States. If you look at it on a map, it's like smaller. I'm not going to say that they didn't go to the moon. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say the technology when they talk about stuff like the Van Allen belt and they talk about all of the technology that they used to get to the moon and they were like racing around on vehicle dune buggies and they were doing all that shit. I'm like, well, it seems like if you were being very careful and very like that you might not do something like that.
I know, dude. Listen. That's what always gets me because I believe we went to the moon. I also believe we faked a lot of the videos, and I'm like, if you fall down on the moon that has been untouched, this dust is sharp. It's going to cut your suit open.
Yeah, exactly.
Micro.
Yeah. Like you
You're
didn't they
gonna
didn't
you're
know.
gonna
They just
die
don't
because
go
you
out
fell
there.
down.
Yeah, go out there and fucking play. Go out there. It's like it seems reckless.
Yeah, I
And
mean when you frame it all like how crazy it is, it seems fake, but I feel like that's also why it was an achievement. You know what I mean? It's like
absolutely.
so
Yeah,
I'm I
you
yeah, I
get
mean
these like
it's
pilots. NASA astronauts are all balls to the wall
Pilots.
test pilots that were
Yeah,
like
yeah.
football jocks that have always did what they were told and they're fucking hot shots and I'm gonna go hit a golf club. I got an idea when I'm gonna do this Masonic ritual before we open the whatever.
what?
Yeah, well, I think that they maybe added, like you mentioned earlier, that they probably shot some footage in case something bad happened. I think that might be a really good thing that they might have like shot some extra stuff just to like in case they couldn't get a shot. They're like, hey, this is what it looks like, guys. This is what we did. Like if we went down deep into the ocean, you're not gonna get like shots of that, but they're gonna have really good animated recreations of what it would have looked like if they'd been down there in the Mariana Trench where they can't go.
I mean, they made a phone
But I
call on the
think people
moon.
also say that, yeah, let's get into the phone call. Let's get into the phone call because that's a thing for me. Richard Nixon sitting on the phone. Well, hi guys, how are you? It seems like you've really done a great thing there. And I'm here in the White House talking to you, and you're very good Americans. You know,
No,
that
no delay.
I had a cell
Okay,
phone.
put
I
it,
had a cell.
you get a fucking radio. It's the president.
When did
You
when
don't
did,
think that NASA and the astronauts are communicating in real time?
absolutely. Let me ask you a question. When did you get your first cell phone?
College at some point.
Yeah, so like what was that, like 1985? So I had my first cell phone in like 96
People say
and
I look young.
you do. You look very young.
Okay.
And I got my first cell phone and it would drop calls all the time and people couldn't hear me and it was just there was not enough technology to like get me to make a
Yeah,
phone call.
you weren't the president of the United States.
Talking on his landline.
Allegedly, you don't know what is in the you think they
You're
can't
right, I
figure out a
don't know.
way to hook a fucking radio up to it. He didn't
Well,
dial their
my
fucking
favorite
phone number.
I agree with, but my favorite thing is if you watch the footage from like it was less than 10 years ago, where the astronauts are being asked questions by students, and the delay is like 30 seconds, and it is just the funniest video I've ever seen.
Yeah, the delay is quite a time.
I don't understand.
There was no delay in
you
the
can talk to the
Nixon.
astronauts.
There was no delay. There was no delay in the Nixon call.
And
but the 30-second delay when they're in low Earth orbit
from 40 years ago or fucking 60 years ago, the edited footage that you've seen.
Well, yeah. There was no delay.
Of course there wasn't. Why would they put the delay in it? It was not fucking live. Come on, guys. You're filmmakers.
It was live.
That's exactly right. It was live.
You watched it on television. It was live.
It was live.
You don't think in the numerous like re-edits and uploads in 60 years they've cut out the fucking gaps in the conversation?
I want to find a piece that's totally live. I want to find
but
that's a good point. I'll go with you, Wade. Wade, I'm really gonna hand it to you. You came out.
I'm just saying.
You cracked it for me.
Like,
I never thought about the fact that somebody would edit out the bullshit, so it would just cut right to it and make it better to watch.
But I'm also just like, there's more compelling things than the president being able to talk to them on a telephone. Like, that's just.
I don't know if you saw the technology back then, but it was a big wire on the back of your car. It was a big wire that hung off your trunk. It like shot up into the air, and that was it. That was how you transmitted some kind of call, a CB. It was a CB transmission.
So on the top of the NASA building, they just got a bunch
through
of
a radioactive. Yeah, moving through the radioactive Van Allen belt. Just never a problem.
Yeah, all I'm saying is,
you're right.
I guess my question would be for Willie, the mining operations, are they the people pointing these out, are they pontificating that they're humans from before? Like what are they saying, that there's current like mining operations? Or
so some of the things are saying that like there definitely was an intelligent race that was mining on the moon.
So these are like archaic,
yeah,
antiquity sites.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. They mine the same way we do, like chicken or the egg, I guess, because then you do Prometheus and go, well, they taught us how to mine. And
yeah, I wish I could remember more about these tubes, because they're specifically
the carbon nanotubes, the single wall carbon nanotubes.
That basically that it's not naturally occurring, so somebody had to have dug those out, whether they were tunneling or creating a space to live underneath the surface. Because if you're on the moon, you don't want to be on the surface. You know, it's just riddled with craters, which is proof that, like, yes, this satellite is taking a lot of meteors.
Well, and I mean, there's more than that. You can't breathe out. It's probably. Well, could they breathe there? I mean, who knows? Did there used to be an atmosphere? Like, if it's an ancient civilization, it's like there's a million reasons not to be on the surface, right?
So supposedly, what some people suggest is that they've created these gigantic glass domes and lived underneath the domes, or inhabited underneath the domes. And so, like, even Gene Cernan, who was like an astronaut on the moon, he talks about this sighting that he had where it looked like there was so much dust and the sun was reflecting light off of it, and it went way above them. So they're like, oh, this is like 75 miles up in the air. The official story was like, oh, this is just moon dust. Well, years later, NASA said, well, there is not enough moon dust on the moon to have the light be illuminated differently because of the sun. So it's like the official story was, oh, it's moon dust, and then later on they said, well, that's not possible, but they didn't answer it. It's like they kind of like refuted themselves without explanation. What they're suggesting, though, is that there's structures that are making the light bend in certain ways, like you know, like a clear aluminum, maybe even glass too, but there are structures left over on the moon that illuminate light differently. And so this, I forget what the word is, there's some word for people finding lights on the moon, that for the last 100 years, people looking at the moon with telescopes, people taking pictures of the moon, there's all these really bright lights showing up all over the moon.
Did you ever find out what the strength of a telescope needs to be for all the three of us to like go and look at the moon and actually see something
Right. I mean, here's the
worthwhile.
thing: is like there hasn't been a telescope on Earth that has seen the rover or the first moon landing site. You've got to be in space.
But they're there, right? I mean, they're there.
Yeah. So nothing that we have on Earth can see these things, but we've got the James Webb telescope out there. We do have telescopes in Earth orbit that can look at the moon.
Well, that's what I was gonna. Yeah. Okay, but they've never. Huh. That's pretty funny. I never thought about looking for the car. They left it. It's like
they've left a few.
What's the made up city?
They had 2 cars.
Jesus Christ. The new made up city. They made all the islands and shit, and it's like the richest place in the world. What the
Dubai?
fuck?
Oh, Dubai.
Dubai?
That's like Dubai. I'm sorry it took me so I was just gonna say it's like all the people who left their like $1 million cars in Dubai.
Yeah, just at the airport because they couldn't pay the taxes and
we're just
so
like
illegal.
Fucking leave it. It's too expensive to bring it back.
So like there's some country that took pictures of
so people know where we landed. There's like coordinates or something.
Yeah.
So you could like if you had the coordinates, you could zoom in as far as you possibly could on that spot. But like you can't see a car from the moon, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Well, but India had a satellite orbiting the moon.
Yeah. So what about that?
So they should have seen it. And I did see pictures of scans of our landing sites, and they were pretty clear. I don't know if those were India's and they must have been because but I know that our projects have scanned these things
trying to like bust us.
I don't know. But their spaceship looks like Flash Gordon's spaceship. It's great.
That foil is still there. All that foil you had.
The next one they're doing for Artemis 2, it's like 40 feet or 60 feet tall. And it's still that gold foil, but it's about 60 feet tall.
The lander?
The new one that they're using for this next trip with the 4 astronauts. It's about 40 to 60 feet tall.
Okay.
And it is maybe like 35 or 50 feet in diameter. And they showed it on TV last week. It's on steroids compared to the first one. It makes the first one look like a Boy Scout tent.
I mean, here's my
issue. Wait, hang on. You just made me think about the first lander. Like how big was it? What are the dimensions of it?
It wasn't taller than maybe
it's in the Smithsonian.
Feet. Yeah, I've been in the Smithsonian. I've seen
how big? Like 12 feet or what?
It's between 15 and 20 feet.
This one is going to be massive.
It's like an apartment complex, like a whole apartment complex.
And it's going to be
everybody gets a floor. There's 4 floors.
It's just orbiting. We've never actually seen the dark side of the moon. We've never seen it. Cue the song.
I don't know Pink Floyd.
Anytime between now and mid-March, they're going to do this moon launch.
So there's an Instagram that got screenshotted on a Reddit. I was trying to look for it, but I can't find it. And I don't know. I just wanted to ask, have you heard anything about, I want to say like March 3rd or 6th is going to be like a thing. Have you guys heard that? Like this year, like in
potential moon launch?
No. Like some shit's going to go down type stuff.
Alien announcement?
Well, maybe. It could be the disclosure thing.
I know there's a big planetary alignment happening in March, but I think it's later.
Well, they were supposed to disclose the whole 3i Atlas thing, and then it sort of vanished.
3i Atlas has gotten weird again, but I don't know how to trust anything anymore.
You're burnt. You don't want to buy it again.
That's
what it is.
We are like internet.
We are like guppies swimming under the water, and everything that they're doing, they're just like dropping little seeds and little pieces of bread.
Yeah, but once you accept that, it's not so bad, I mean, like, what's the alternative? Murder?
There's another interstellar object that came.
You got to murder so fast. You went to murder so fast.
I don't know the other. Revolution is the only, and revolution is inherent murder, isn't it? Like, we got to cut their fucking heads off. We're over, I think. So
I didn't want to focus too much on like the negative darkness of, hey, maybe all the moon stuff in the past is bullshit. And that's why I said they're kind of faking it until they make it. And maybe they did stuff to kind of practice what it was going to be. And now we're finally moving towards, thanks to Elon Musk and who are all these billionaires, they're the ones they're going to take us
Privately
towards
funded,
actually
yeah.
trying to fucking
I mean,
do something.
my issue is this: because NASA can never disclose them finding anything, I feel like anything from the past will never come out.
And it's dubious that it all started right around that time the Area 451 happened.
Yeah, yeah.
1948, right? It was like 1948,
That's
Area 51,
my years are always fucked up, but yes, it was
right
it was
around
like the
there.
years CIA started. It was like, all the, and that's when we basically started this space race, was when we
I hope
found
you guys are
space.
right. I fucking hope that they're aliens, and I don't know.
But
will life ever be better for us?
We've got to
Yes,
find.
will life be better is right.
Well, okay. Here's a fascinating thing that I heard. Okay, like we've always heard that, like, oh, if we figure out there's aliens, like religions are going to be fucked up. You know, it's going to be fucked up worse. Science.
Government.
Because science has been against us the whole time. And it's like, hey, you guys have been wrong this whole fucking time. So science as a belief system might be challenged because they couldn't see past what they couldn't see. Well, I mean, that's how science works, but it's just like, you guys want to talk about this? You want to talk about the possibilities? And
well, wait,
I just
you're
not,
you're not lumping. So you think all science is wrong? I mean, like, if you believe that they've been hiding stuff from us, then why wouldn't you believe that they haven't been hiding the correct science?
It's not about hiding anything. It's about people trusting science, and then when you find out aliens are real, people going like, I thought you guys said they weren't.
We did
So
this.
It's just like,
we talked about this on an episode before where I said, I think that they set up a series of stories that we then are taught and we buy into, and they're completely bullshit. But we were taught them, we were given two options, and one of them seemed so outlandish that we were like, oh, well, forget that we bought this other one that was more believable, and that they're all bullshit, and that we're being told all bullshit. It couldn't be any more conspiracy than that statement right there.
No, but listen, I mean, that's why I'm agnostic about it. If instead of the moon, we were talking about an island that like I could get to, then I would care. But there's no version of any future where I'm like building a spaceship to try and like make money or do whatever. It's so I'm kind of like, well, yeah, we know these people are evil and we know what they do to us as people. It's not good. So this is all just sort of par for the course.
But we're actually financing all of it every time you buy something on Amazon. You're financing it every time you drive a Tesla.
They're going to take my taxes regardless, right?
Every time you buy, that's the funny thing.
I love the little pebbles, man. Give me the fish pebbles and leave me alone.
Yes, there you go. Every time we buy something, that's it.
It's fine. I went to Jeff Bezos' house. I signed an NDR.
That's why you're being so cagey on all of this, huh?
I wish.
That's why you're being so cagey.
You'd have to pay me. You'd have to pay me to do this shit.
You're hanging out in Lauren Sanchez's guest bathroom.
Don't even know who that is.
His wife.
Oh. All right. We can wrap it up now, right? We all got our thoughts out. We're all good. The moon is fucked and we're fucked and everything's
well, the moon is great. Everything's great, but you're not going to benefit. I'm not going to benefit. We're not going to benefit. Maybe we'll get cooler astronaut suits to wear at Halloween, but that's about fucking it.
Yeah, I want there to be aliens and come and hang out with us and be like, yeah, your whole thing is fucked, man. Come with us.
Give us,
I would go.
Give heartbeat. Some alien validation. That's what we need. Alien validation.
Yes, we need alien validation.
I'm just like you have a chance to look up some things on your own: the Paracelsus C crater, the Compton Belkavitch heat anomaly, and the Deforest crater. Cool stuff. These are anomalies that like you can look for yourself, and it's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. I think this is turning the tides of having to say that shit is not normal.
Yeah, I think, you're right. I mean, if that's your goal, is like, hey, everyone, be a little bit more skeptical about this shit, then mission accomplished. Thanks for listening. Patreon.com/RealLifeSciFi. Fort Austin, do you want to shout out a gram or a we're all off TikTok, right? Is everyone off TikTok?
I'm not posting anything.
I don't need to shout it. I made all of my social media private, so don't even look for me on the internet anymore. It's just fine.
Yeah, welcome to my world. It's great.
This is the only place you will find me, right here.
Well, thanks for doing it, man, and I'm excited to continue this conversation with our good friend filmmaker Fort Austin. Go on his IMDb, look at all of his stuff, watch the JK show. I think I might have watched and enjoyed that independently of knowing that you were in it. My face blindness would never allow me to actually know that you were in it after having watched it. So,
yeah, I was an ambassador smuggling things through the
right. You're in like
doorway,
a 3-piece suit, right?
And an overcoat, and it was really crazy because the director and the AD and everybody, they were just like treating me like I was in the world, and I was like terrified the whole time I was on set.
Who directed your episode?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, so it's not like Ben Stiller.
It was the creator of the series, and I was in a blind fear the entire time.
Why?
I thought I thought I was gonna fuck up and get fired, and they were like that. They were just like, yeah, just. And he was this really cagey, he's a real intense Russian guy, and I was smuggling assets from one reality to another, and it was just like terrifying. It felt very real.
That sounds cool.
And JK sounds like fucking ripped.
The method directing, you know?
Yeah.
I said, wait, did I say no. I said the right thing, right?
JK.
No, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm going all the way back to, I didn't say do not resuscitate when I was talking about.
You said DNR instead of an NDA.
What's it?
They said DNR.
ND. Okay.
An NDA.
Well,
it's okay.
You said NDR instead of
NDA.
Said NDR.
Oh, I said it. Not do resuscitate. Sorry. I'm glad we cleared that up. Thanks for listening, Ford. Thank you for being here. We'll see you in 5 minutes.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, wait. And I say something here. I say, just because you're paranoid, don't mean they're not after you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
RealLifeSciFi.